So when you actually see it in person and you're in the arena to watch it, you develop a love for that sport. Well, my name is Jay Jarvis. I had a career in forensic science, and then I was hired by the state of Georgia, and I worked there for 32 years. My love for hockey goes all the way back to when I was a child. I was born and raised on Long Island, New York, and we played hockey and skated on frozen ponds when I was a child. But as I got older, I began to watch hockey on television and was fortunate enough that I lived close enough to a small Long Island arena where an Eastern Hockey League team played there called the Long Island Ducks. My father's company transferred him from Long Island to Middle Georgia in 1975. Well, it was when I was following hockey in Georgia, in the Atlanta area, not only the Atlanta Flames, but then the team that came after them in the early 90s was the Atlanta Knights. And I actually had a ticket package and used to go to their games a lot, and I was actually present when they won the Turner Cup Championship in 1994. And that inspired me to want to go play in a men's league. And that's how it sort of started, because I actually had a conversation with one of their goaltenders, Mike Greenlay, and asked him for advice. If I want to go back and play in a men's league, what type of exercising do I need to do if I want to be a goaltender? And he gave me a lot of good information. So when I had the opportunity to buy one of his game-used jerseys, that was the first one I ever had. And that's really what started this. The more you connect with people on social media, if people had jerseys they were trying to sell on eBay, a lot of times I would search eBay looking for particular teams. And that's really how it got started. And I started keeping a lot of good records of everything that I had gotten. And then before long, I had so much stuff, that's when I opted to create the website that was called the Georgia Hockey Museum. And I began to post everything that I had. And I remember sending an email to Carl Hirsch one time and thinking, you know, I don't know whether if he'll ever see this email or not, but I was at least gonna pitch the idea to him. Would this be something that would be of interest? I'd say within several hours, I got a phone call from him, and he was like, oh, absolutely, we are interested in this. So this was just like a dream come true for me. So it's always been my belief that this needs to be on public display, and the older I get, I'm now 68, that it's gotta go somewhere, because you want it on display, but you wanna preserve it so people can't touch it and grab it or thumb through it, because you don't want it to be destroyed, because a lot of these objects are 20, 30, 40, 50 years old. People will have a very, very clear understanding for how long the sport of hockey has been played in the state of Georgia. It's been since 1968 that can be documented. Now, the sport of hockey and the growth of little hockey rinks all around the metro Atlanta area and some other places has really caused a lot of interest. There are high schools in Georgia now that have hockey teams. Hockey is growing, and for people to be able to see the entire history of the sport on display, I think will be overwhelming for most people.